Hi, welcome back to our series on transitioning from one season to the next. I'm Mindy Turner with the Curry County Cooperative Extension Service, your family and consumer science agent. So for this series, we have been talking about repurposing things, finding things we already have on hand, being very frugal, not spending a lot of money, but coming up with some great decor that we can transition through maybe that October, November, December time frame, and put a little less stress on ourselves as we're moving in, plus relax a little and have some fun making something. So today we are actually going to do word blocks. Now this is a super fun thing. You can also do photo blocks, lots of different types of things with this activity. So now if you go back, if you haven't watched all of our series and you want to watch, there's one called Crafting for Mental Health, and one of those is actually on doing decoupage. And we are going to decoupage our stuff today. There's some other varieties of ways you can do it, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Again, our goal is to repurpose some things we already have on hand. So how many of us have sets of letters, stickers, things we purchased? Maybe our kids had a school project, a poster they were making, something they had to get together. We have these leftover letters, or we picked up one of those cutesy little signs at the dollar store because, oh, they'd not be cute for Christmas or for fall, whatever it is. And then we're like, okay, we used it for a week. Now what do we do? All of those things can be repurposed into something else. So the idea here, again, is that you have something on hand you can use. So I actually had these blocks. One year we made sets of yard games. So we made dice. And I was overly ambitious, of course, and part of the deal was that I had this great big long piece of lumber, right? So when we had it cut, we cut them all. So I have all of these blocks left over that I just never have used. So I got that box out and messed around with it a little bit. Now you can also, if you have a piece of 2x4, again, if you have some of those signs, things that you want to recycle and reuse, there's all different kinds of cute patterns and ways that you can put things together to have a saying. Or as I mentioned before, even if you just want to use the theme and then add photos to your own things, that's a great way to decorate and pull things out year after year and be able to look at those memories. So I pulled those out and then I went through the scrapbooking bin. Again, we buy things because we need one specific thing and we don't use the rest of it. So I actually found tons of wonderful fall prints and colors and things to pick from to put that together. Then I went back through and I found a couple of different sets with Christmas, this very traditional red and green type Christmas, and then even some that are a little more maybe pop culture or kind of vintagey feeling with some of the pinks and different kinds of greens that we can add to that. So whatever your tastes are, which is usually what we have leftovers of, right? We go out and we get things because we want to use them, they suit us, and then we don't use it all. So now we've got a project that we can take and use up some of those scraps to do. So the first thing I did was I went through and I kind of picked my patterns, what I wanted to use once I found some letters. So these are actually kind of a hardboard, more of a cardboard type of letter. They are self-adhesive, but I would recommend adding a little adhesive, whether it's with your glue gun or we talked about glue dots, or just even using our Mod Podge type glue, which is actually what we're using. We talk about in the decoupage one now, these come in all different kinds. So make sure you have what you want to use. You can get one that will actually make all of this look vintage with a tint. You can get high gloss. This one is a matte finish. That's typically what I use for my projects. So we're gonna use that to attach the letters to make sure that they stay a little longer. Again, these are like a card. And so I had a gold set and a silver set. I'm doing short words. Obviously you could do much longer if you had smaller pieces of wood. If you actually made Merry Christmas with blocks this big, you would have a whole lot of blocks and take up a whole lot of space. So what I've actually chosen to do is my fall side is just gonna say fall. Just the word fall on there. So you can stencil the letters on, you can pull out that paint pen or that Sharpie that we've been talking about with all of our other projects and make your letters to suit how you want. Because we know the biggest strain on, oh, I've got these leftover letters, is I can't always find the letters I need to make the word. And so even to make the word fall, I had to flip a T and turn it into an L so that we could have all the letters to make the word fall. So again, this is a pretty simple project. Once we get started, I put a little of my decoupage glue on my plate. I cut my pieces, all of mine were the same size because they're the square blocks, so that made it easy. So I picked the different patterns that I wanted that went together, kind of this fun stripe with some neat fall colors. What is this? Oh, a really nice fleur-de-lis, paisley kind of thing in a nice golden fall color. And then the dots that actually match the stripes. And finally, this one with the leaves that's in that same color palette as those. You can have completely different opposite things if that's what you want. It's kind of whatever works for you, what you like the best. So I just picked the side, the uncut side is what I did. So you can spray these to seal them. You can put a finish. You can paint them a color if you want them to be a color. But these are just completely unfinished. So what I would do eventually is take that decoupage and probably seal it all the way around, just so that it was sealed off on all of the wood. Okay, so I cut it. I put a nice even layer of my glue, and then I added my paper. So there it is. So the next thing, all I have to do is add my letter. Now, like I said, these are self-adhesive. Don't know how much I trust them to stay forever, so I'm gonna go ahead and put a little extra glue on there and then just pop that right in the middle. And again, then I'm gonna wanna go over the whole thing, and the glue will dry clear because I lost my shine there for a minute on my letter, so that it's all stuck together and sealed. So there's my A. I've got letters everywhere that I'm gonna pop down right there in the middle of fall. Cute, fun. I can put pictures, I can set things on top of this. What a fun decoration if you're having some type of a dinner, maybe even for Thanksgiving, you can put the napkin holder or the utensil holder or something up on this and have it kind of up from the table, but on a cute little decoration. The whole thing we've been talking about though is how are we gonna transition now? Hey, it's up, it's out, it's fall, fall's over. Now what are we gonna do? So what I have done is gone ahead and on the other side of my blocks, I have, it's hard to see the silver letters, so hopefully you guys will be able to make that out. But I have just gone ahead and made the word joy, and goes here. My Y is gonna need a little more glue so that it will stay. I use those very traditional Christmassy colors. That's something I really like. I have a lot of poinsettias and bright reds when I put my stuff out, along with my blues for my snowmen. So I have a lot of colors going on. But this will make a cute little now Christmas decoration. And same idea, if you want to put it out on the table, if you just want it on the shelf, this is a super thing that can take a small space. Even if you don't do a lot of decorating, it gives you just kind of that pop, that touch that you look at it and it'll make you feel good to see it and have it and know that you're engaged in that season. So of course, joy is less letters than fall. So if you have a word for whichever season that you want to use, you can always just make that last block. I just used the little packages, the gifts that match the rest of it to go along with it. But then you could add, a snowflake, or maybe you have a cute little package ornament that you picked up somewhere, or a poinsettia, some kind of a scrapbooking sticker that goes along with that would be really cute. You can seal that on with your decoupage glue as well. So the options are kind of endless to tie this in and make it something that fits you and your personality and use up the things that you have. Again, I'm Mindy Turner with the Curry County Cooperative Extension Service. This has been Seasonal Transitions. I hope that you take some time to relax, this season and do some fun things that are fun for you. Have that opportunity to decorate, put some things out, and make that transition from fall into winter. Again, I'm Mindy Turner. I really appreciate your time. If you have questions or need assistance with something, you're welcome to stop by our office, 600 Wood Street in Clovis, or give us a call, 575-763-6505.